What's going on, guys? Crow here, and welcome to another fresh, never frozen Modern Warfare 2 gameplay. Although this gameplay is just a tiny bit frozen. It's from, I believe, a week ago. Yeah, it's like pulling teeth on this goddamn map. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this video. Be sure to leave a like on this video. The more likes, the better. And of course, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, be sure to do so. We have hit over 54,000 subscribers, which is a huge milestone for this channel, and I want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing. And again, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I guess it's a thing. Anyway, question of the day is, if you were talking to an Activision CEO, whatever, whoever is responsible for releasing Call of Duties, or at least giving them the green light, what would be your case? So what would you tell them about Modern Warfare 2? What would be your case to remaster it? Okay, so what are your top reasons to remaster Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? So in general, why? Why does it need a remaster? Leave your responses in the comment section below. A little bit about this gameplay before we move on. So this is from, I believe, a week ago, or just over a week ago. I was still going for those goddamn Pavlo nukes. And they're very difficult, especially on the PS3 with all the hackers going around and just, in general, many unpleasant memories. But still, I kept on trucking, and literally everything in this gameplay was against me. People were camping heavily, but you know what? This game is fucking 9 years old. Almost 9 years old. So I don't knock people for camping. You know, people coming back to this game more than likely have enjoyed other Call of Duties that were camp heavy. I think the Camp Fest began after Call of Duty Ghosts. So there's still a lot of new players playing Modern Warfare 2 despite all the hackers and the bullshit. So they just adapt to a different gameplay style. So I don't knock people on for that. But there's also, you know, NoobTubers or whatever. But this lobby in general was very, very slow. But I figured to myself, okay, Underpass. Now, I, on the other hand, don't mind this map. I think it's not a very good map, but it's a good map. When you think about it, and I got very lucky here, when you think about it, it's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, Underpass. And I sped some parts up because I was just so terrified. I was like, oh my god, this is literally the last chance I could get this fucking Pavlo nuke. Please let it happen. So this gameplay in general was fairly campy. Okay, I'm camping a little bit over here, but I was just terrified. And if you look at the mini-map, I was surrounded, so I didn't know which way to go. Anyhow, so I don't knock on people for that. But I was always in the back of my head when I'm playing this game is, okay, so if somebody leaves and somebody joins, and they might be a hacker, so it's always in the back of my head. PS3, as I told you guys many times before, is fairly hacked to shit. And not to go off topic, on Black Ops, actually no, I'll save that for my Road to Commander and on my Black Ops 1 videos. Anyway, going back to question of the day. So what would be my case for remastering this Call of Duty? So a little bit of background. Some of you guys may know this, some of you guys may not know this. I used to give this game a lot of crap back in the day. A lot of bullshit, just a lot of bullshit. But always in the back of my mind, it was like, fuck, it's a good game at the end of the day. And when it first came out, Modern Warfare 2, so prior to coming out, we had World at War and Call of Duty 4. World at War and Call of Duty 4 were different, vastly different, to be honest. World at War had different game modes, it had different perks, it had bigger maps, you know, you could drive a fucking tank, just different. But the weapons in World at War had a bunch of recoil, excluding some, you know, PPSH and the MP40, whatever. The assault rifles tended to have more recoil, and there was a lot of semi-automatic weapons. And that always appealed to me, and to a majority of people. Call of Duty 4, on the other hand, yes, it had significant recoil on some of the weapons. You know, AK-47, you might think to yourself, well, that didn't have a lot of recoil. Go back to the original Call of Duty 4, and just compare it with some of the weapons we have here. So when Modern Warfare 2 first came out, and we got all those fucking laser weapons, including the Scar H, ACR, M4, M16, FAMAS, UMP, almost every other weapon, we didn't really know what to do with ourselves. Because we just had an overload of weapons that seemed to be laser guided, okay? Especially the ACR. But a cool thing amongst the community developed, maybe not the F2000, never forget it. F2000, I still liked it. A pretty cool thing developed along the Call of Duty community, which initially I didn't stand behind, but as years went by, I'm like, it's kind of right. They were kind of right. So every fucking weapon in this game was overpowered, as to say, you know? Every weapon was a laser weapon, so therefore, every weapon is equal. Now, Call of Duty purists, you know, back in the day, would tell you, well, this game is fairly newbie because weapons have no recoil, ACR is overpowered, UMP is God mode. I'm not gonna argue against it, but the fun factor was there, okay? You could pick up almost every weapon and do well with it. From the MG4 to M240 to RPD, you know, LMGs, to Scar H, to M16, to FAMAS, to whatever, to the AUG. Every weapon seemed the same, but also different, okay? I am a big sucker for environment. Like, I could literally like a game just for its setting, for the environment, for just the way it is. And that was one of the things that this game drew me to. Maps were unique, so that would be the first case. Weapons, for the most part, seemed to make people happy. Because even if you go back to it now, to Modern Warfare 2, people still use different shit. I know if you haven't played this game in a while, it might seem that people only use ACR and UMP and whatever. And majority of the lobbies, I shouldn't say that, not majority of the lobbies, you will find people running around with Marathon Lightweight Commando and UMP, sure, whatever. But you will also see the FALs, the M16s, the FAMAs, the SCAR, all the other weapons that I mentioned. And this game had the fun factor. And I am biting my tongue, and I do admit that I was wrong when I didn't launch a crusade against this game. That's not true. I was just very salty in the beginning, okay? From the one-man armies to Danger Close and all that stuff, there was just no counter that I was happy with, aside from Blast Shield, which I'm wearing here because I was fucking petrified of getting noob-tubed, and that didn't work well against noob-tubes. So I was just salty over the fact that I'm trying to do everything I can to achieve a good score, and I fucking can't because there's a dude, you know, Jimmy No Thumbs, who can just put one-man army with Danger Close, and pff, look at this, noob-tube. And noob-tube me to Kingdom Come. So I'm like, okay, well, let me go back to Call of Duty 4. Let me go back to World at War. But always, whenever I went back, there was something that kept drawing me in to this Call of Duty. And I swear to you, even with Black Ops 1, you know, Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 2 are my favorite Call of Duties of all time. Even with Black Ops 1, I didn't have that feeling like, oh, god damn it. That's why I'm doing these revisits all the time, because this game has it. It has the fun factor. And if I were to sit down with the Activision CEO, I would just be like, give the people what they want. And also, side note, this game had fucking, this gameplay, awful connection. So even that was going against me. Regardless, I would just tell the guy, dude, give the people what they want, just remaster this game. But I do not want this game remastered 100%. More like 98%. They need to seriously nerf Commando, or at least if not nerf Commando, get rid of one-man army resupplying bullshit. And of course, somehow, maybe nerf Danger Close, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below, what would you tell Activision CEO why to remaster Modern Warfare 2? Be sure to subscribe, leave a like, see you guys next time.